Hi everyone. Here's what happens in episode 8 of You. 3 months after the breakup, Joe is with someone new, Karen Mindy. He says he's happy, but he keeps repeating it to himself, which makes it seem like he's not. Karen is clean and organized. She alphabetizes his books, unlike Beck. But we know this relationship won't last. Karen watches shows like The King of Queens and tells Joe to buy a Kindle. Joe clearly doesn't enjoy any of it. Joe has stopped spying in person, but he still checks Beck's Facebook 3 times a day. He finds out she wrote an article that went viral, and now she has a book deal. While Karen watches bad TV, Joe rubs her feet and thinks about Beck. Beck has become closer to Blythe, who is smart and serious about writing. Blythe tells Beck to unplug from social media and focus on her book. Beck tries, but soon plugs her internet back in, just to stalk Joe's new girlfriend. Then, Beck walks near Joe's place and accidentally runs into Joe and Karen. She has no excuse and just says she's walking around. Beck lies and says she's listening to a podcast Joe once recommended. Karen says podcasts are boring. When Joe calls Karen babe, Beck notices. Joe used to hate that word. Beck sees her chance. She texts Joe, and since he has read receipts on, she knows he saw it. Soon she starts sending him flirty pictures and texts. Joe responds. Joe sees his therapist, Dr. Nikki, but the sessions aren't helpful. Beck complains to him that Karen is silly. Joe tells him he used to make fun of people who said babe. Clearly, Joe is feeling confused. Later, Ethan and Blythe ask Beck and Joe to help them move. Joe and Beck spend the day carrying boxes and laughing. The feelings come back. Beck invites Joe onto a boat, saying she wants feedback on her book, but they end up having sex there. Joe says it was a mistake, but they keep doing it anyway. At the same time, Joe is helping Claudia, a nurse and the mom of the kid from his building. She's addicted to drugs and has an abusive boyfriend, Ron. Joe lets her detox in his glass room. It's a strange part of the episode that doesn't fit with the rest. At Ethan and Blythe's party, Karen tells Beck how great Joe is. This makes Beck miss him more. Blythe tells Joe something extreme. All penetration under patriarchy is rape. It's the kind of thing Blythe says. Beck then tells Joe she's no good for him, but Karen is. She breaks it off with Joe. Joe goes home, sees Karen laughing at a sitcom and doing her nails, and ends it. Karen tells him not to talk, quietly takes her things, and leaves. She's calm and cool. Right after, Joe runs to Beck's place, breaks her window, and shows up begging to get back together. Beck lets him in, and they are a couple again. Later, Karen sees Beck and says thanks. Beck helped her realize who Joe really is. She says, "You're my get-out-of-Joe-free card." Then she warns Beck, "Be careful. I don't think you're another Candace." She adds, "What he did to me, he'll do to you. Maybe he'll do whatever he did to Candace." So what did Joe do to Candace? We still don't know. But it sounds bad. Maybe murder. Maybe worse. That's a full recap of the 8th episode of You, Season 1. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for amazing recaps in under 2 minutes.